Well, the Bryce is right twice in a row. That's right. And a save fit for a king. We're going to talk about it right now.
Jainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H. Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
Hey everybody, welcome into this edition of Locked On Astros. I'm H. Town Wheelhouse. You know where to find me. You know where to find the show on Apple, Instagram, on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. It's free and easy to listen to. If you get Amazon Prime, you get it actually advertisement free. You don't have to listen to ads. But hey, check this out. The Houston Astros win the series versus the Diamondbacks. They take the first two games. Can they get a sweep? I don't know, but it sure feels like they can. There are some really cool things tonight in the show. We're going to talk about Brice Matthews' big at bat. We're going to talk about the 13 straight wins when Framber is on the bump, tying a record for the Astros, a club record, and Brian King getting his first career save, a save fit for a king. I can tell you that right now, this team is showing so much grit, is showing so much just vigor. They look like they're heading backwards. They look like they're going in the wrong direction. And what do? They simply go out and win. They man up. It was a great win. And look, this has been a tough season. This season, riddled with injuries. I mean, every time the Astros do something, it makes you kind of cringe or back up. Like when Jose Altuve slid home for that third run, you're like, oh no, don't. Like, I thought his hand got stepped on. I was freaking out, but he was fine. So I absolutely love that. I love to see that. So let's get into this because I was not here last night on the show when Brice Matthews went deep twice. And let's talk about this, okay? One of the things that I hit on with Brice Matthews and my concern with him coming in, he's 6 games into his major league career. So we're not writing anybody off or putting them into the Hall of Fame because of 6 games. But when he came in, the biggest knock against him was not that we didn't think he had the talent, because clearly he has the talent to be the top prospect on a major league team. But his home and road splits were really, really bad. And so I was like, how is that going to translate in the major leagues? Well, in Major League Baseball, it doesn't matter when you hit the home runs or where you hit the home runs, because everything's pretty much in the same playing field unless you're, up there in Colorado, et cetera. But Brice Matthews comes in and he hits 3 home runs in 2 games. Okay. Now the ball does carry well in Arizona. That's a not a bad home run hitting ballpark. It is a very deep ballpark, very cavernous ballpark. But Brice Matthews comes in and he hits 3 no-doubters. These aren't cheap shots. These aren't, he got lucky. These were no-doubters. And he does still have a lot of strikeouts to his name, but we're not focusing on that. We're focusing on what Brice Matthews has done in these last 2 games. He's gone out there and absolutely done the job. He actually won the WPA award tonight. The win probability added at plus 44.7, obviously because of that big home run. But Brice Matthews, when you look at what he's done over the last couple games, I mean, you can't deny that he's clearly taking up a spot in the role of helping this team win. He has a responsibility with the name on the front of his chest to represent the name on the back for his family. But yeah, his average is 200, but his OPS is 958. He was 1 for 4 today with 2 RBIs with the 1 home run. He had 1 walk. He had 1 strikeout. The kid had a solid game. And I'll get to his defense in the last segment when we talk about Brian King's save, because without Brice, Brian King's save doesn't happen. Just a complete game for the rookie. But the big at bat for Brice when he came in, it was an absolute stinger of a shot to left center field. I mean, This kid can smoke the ball. He's got sneaky power. He's not as imposing a figure, I would say, as like a Cam Smith. I think Cam Smith, maybe he profiles a little bit bigger. But when Brice Matthews hit this home run, I mean, this ball was 104.3 miles an hour off the bat, a 396-foot blast with a 29-degree launch angle. You absolutely love that. But let's go back to the home runs that I didn't get to talk about last night. I was actually hanging with my son, with my dad, trying to get some last R&R before school comes back in. Bryce's second inning home run last night off of Zach Gallen, might add you, 108.5 miles an hour off the bat, 397 feet. Okay. And then his second home run in the seventh inning was off of Zach Gallen again, 108.7 miles an hour off the bat, 423 feet. Why am I bringing up the home runs from last night and the home run tonight? Because he's showing that he has power. He's showing you have to have the bat speed to be able to hit the ball this hard and this far in the major leagues. Now, he is the type of player, and I had the pleasure of interviewing him in the offseason at the TriStar show. And I was super impressed with his mindset. I was super impressed with what I heard from his parents. I got to sit down and talk with his mom and dad. I didn't do a formal interview. I didn't ask him for that. I figured he was a rookie. You know, he just this newfound fame where he was getting more and more popular. So I just wanted to talk to him just off the record, just one-on-one. And his attitude towards the game of baseball and work ethic and always trying to be better and not going outside of who he is what gets someone like Brice Matthews to the place he is. Again, I'm not writing his career as a Hall of Famer right now. I'm not saying he's the greatest Astro of all time, but I'm also not saying that there's not a whole lot that we can look at because it's only 6 games. And I would say at only 6 games to have those 3 home runs is pretty huge. 2 of those home runs yesterday off of Zach Gallen. Excuse me. That dude's a good pitcher. That guy's a solid pitcher. And so you absolutely love to see it. You know, tonight, I mean, look, it wasn't all roses. And if we're being purely objective, it's amazing that the Astros win a game 3-1, and they were 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They left 12 on base. That is why baseball is unlike any sport out there. Like, very rarely. Now, yes, you do have defenses in football that win championships, kind of like, you know, the Ravens, or maybe I don't know, just we know those football teams that didn't have much on the offensive side, but the defense has helped them win. But you wouldn't think to win many games going 0 for 9. I mean, they had 10 hits. They only scored 3 runs. So I'm sure the naysayers and the negative Nancys and the people that don't like being happy about a win will find something negative about this. But a team that wins a championship wins the games that they are not supposed to win. Or they win the games that are tight. Or they win the games where they have to depend on the guy who is the next man up, who is that night's hero. I mean, Brian King and Brice Matthews, heroes of the game. You tell me if you were one of the 1 in 50 million people who had in their preseason bingo card that Brice Matthews and Brian King would be the hero in a game in an Astros uniform. Nobody had that. Now, I don't even know that I thought that Brice might be a real late season call up. And of course, with the injuries, a lot of people are questioning, should they have brought him up sooner? But I think the reason why they waited till they did, number one, they waited because of all the injuries. But another reason why they waited is because of those strikeout numbers. But you put that behind you as a major leaguer. You've got to wash it. If you have a bad game, you wash it. You don't go into the majors. Brice Matthews isn't walking into the clubhouse going, well, you know, I have a 37% strikeout rate, and I really don't know if I belong here. That's what fans do, okay? that fans do that, or fans will be like, we need to trade Yordan. I mean, there's things that we do as fans, and I've made some mistakes in my fandom as well. And in our next segment, I want to talk about the 13 straight wins when Framber is on the bump. And I want to correct a little something that I think I overstated last show that I was on 2 shows ago, because I want to apologize slightly to Mr. Christian Walker. Let's talk about open phone right now. All right, this episode is brought to you by Open Phone. Get 20% off your first 6 months when you go to openphone.com/lockedonmlb. If you're running a business, every time you miss a call, it's missed money. You leave it on the table. Think about the last time you had a service emergency, a pipe burst. If the first plumber didn't answer, did you wait? No, you went to the next one. That's why having a reliable business line is so important. And that's why you need Open Phone. Open Phone is the #1 business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from an app on your phone or computer. Do you juggle 2 phones with your business just to keep calls in, just to keep calls separate? Open Phone has solved this instantly. Your whole team can share one number and respond to customers like a shared inbox. No more, who's handling this? And the AI agent handles after-hours calls, answers common questions, and captures leads, so you never miss the customer again. Open Phone is offering Locked On Astros listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/lockedonmlb. That's openphone.com/lockedonmlb. And if you have an existing number with any other service, Open Phone will port them over with no extra charge. Open Phone, no miss customers, no miss money. Let's go. Happy birthday. All right, once again, thank you for tuning in. You know me, I'm Town Wheelhouse. I am here with Locked On Astros. We are your team every single day. Make sure you check out the Locked On Astros postcast with Michael Connor. If you watched him before me, you're over there and y'all got to talk it up, chop it up. Well, you know what? Let's chop it up again. It's never too late to talk about the Houston Astros, whether they win or lose. That's right. We are the best Locked On MLB pod in the land. Thank you so much, Mr. Argenis. And hey, go ahead and subscribe to us. It's free. Share it with a friend. That's also free. No membership fees required. So thank you for tuning in. Remember, we're your team every single day. So 13 straight wins when Framber Valdez is on the bump. What a feat. That is quite a feat. I absolutely love that. And I'm trying to remember what I said we were going to go to in the second segment, because I was reminded of something as I was looking at the box score. So if some of y'all want to remind me in the chat there of what I said, I would appreciate it. That's awesome. Ads are entertaining, Brett. Hey, thank you, man. You know what? They pay the bills. That's why we do it. And I've got skills to pay the bills. So let's get going. 13 straight wins. The last time the Astros won 13 straight wins when a pitcher started a game with the Houston Astros was Gerrit Cole. Gerrit Cole was the last pitcher for them. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Rob. Gerrit Cole was the last pitcher to win to pitch 13 games where the team had a win in all 13 games. Now, it's key here to note that Framber Valdez, even though the Astros have won 13 games, doesn't mean that Framber has won 13 games. Now, Framber is 11-4, okay? So, but the last 13 starts that he's had, they have won the game. So when he gets on the mound, the boys win. The boys man up, and the boys take the cake. That's right. They take a series. Now they are 3-2 on the road. Hopefully tomorrow they can win, sweep the series, go 4-2. That would be great. Oh, yes. And thank you, Mr. J. And I forget, someone else reminded me. It was about Christian Walker. Now, I kind of went in on Christian Walker a little bit last time I was on the show. He was 2 for 5 today. And I clipped a part of the show, and I will get back to Framber Valdez and why that's important, because I mentioned this before the break in our first segment, and I want to tell you his splits for July. He's hitting 344. He's got 21 hits. He's got 3 home runs. Now, he's had 3 home runs. He had 4 in April, 3 in May, 3 in June. He's got 3 in July. But this month, he's got 14 RBI. That's second most. In May, he had 16. But 21 hits, 7 runs. Again, 344. His OPS in the month of July is 887. His slug is 508. His on-base percentage is 379. So Christian Walker is trending upward. His last 15 games, 323, 3 home runs, 16 strikeouts, 21 hits, 7 runs scored. His last 30, 270, 18 RBI, 4 home runs, and it looks like he has 33 hits. So I did overstate a little bit about Christian Walker needing to step it up, and he had been stepping it up in July. So I just wanted to give him his flowers. I think I overstated that without giving context of understanding where he was. But let me just add to that. I think Christian Walker needs to continue this pace into July, into August. It's ever more apparent with Pena still not back, with Myers not back, with Jordan, he's swinging a bat, but we don't know what's going on with him. It was really confusing with Paredes and with Joe Espada saying it doesn't look good. It looks like he won't be back for a while. This injury is different, so that is not something you want to hear. The injuries continue to plague this team, but Framber Valdez getting back on point of the second for our second segment here. Framber Valdez has really been the glue. Hunter Brown is, I think, the ace apparent, okay? But I think Framber Valdez, though, has really shown a lot of fortitude and a massive ability to stay focused and to stay on point throughout the season. 10 swings and misses today, looked phenomenal on the mound. He only gave up the 1 run. And this is a guy that the Astros have got to make a decision on. Do we go with Framber Valdez and give him a contract that, remember that guy Lance McCullers, and they gave him that 5-year, $85 million deal? Don't you think Framber Valdez deserves a lot more? And he's healthy, and he gives you, good Lord, how many innings a year? He's already up to 128 innings pitched. When you look at this, 2024, 176, 2023, 198, 2022, 201, 2021, 134, and he stays healthy. Heck, he gave you 70 innings in 2020. That was over 11 games. I mean, this dude is a workhorse. Over 1,000 innings pitched. The guy, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if this is added into tonight, but he's 5 strikeouts away from 1,000. I didn't realize that. I just now saw that. Okay. Well, Framber Valdez, you're nearing a milestone, sir. It looks like we may need to celebrate next time Framber's on the mound. He will probably get to 1,000 strikeouts, and I better be at that game when he gets that. That's phenomenal. Framber Valdez is the guy that the Houston Astros, I think, have got to sign. You have a hard time finding pitchers that are durable, that stay healthy, and he has improved. Last year, when Framber went in that game, in 2023, when Framber pitched against the Rangers, we've seen times when Framber doesn't have it. I'm not saying he's going to be perfect from here on out, but I believe that Framber Valdez has overcome that, and he's a veteran in the way that he's a guy that you've got to think about keeping him on. I mean, separating him and Brown at this point would be foolish. I mean, think about Arrighetti when he comes back. He's going to be healthy. He broke his thumb off a freak accident. It's not an arm issue. The kid looks to be another big body type pitcher. And if we fast forward, we're talking Framber Valdez, we fast forward to next season, and you can start the season with Hunter, Framber, Arrighetti, and then figure out who are going to be your guys. If you trade for someone this offseason, maybe you get someone that stays on, okay? And so it's just one of those things where you've got a chance to build next year to have the best rotation, one of the best rotations in baseball next year. So I absolutely love that. I think he's going to sign more than a 2-year deal. Mr. Gutierrez, he says 2 years, 48. It's probably going to take a lot more than that. But we will talk about that later. We got some trade deadline stuff to talk about. I kind of hope they don't do anything at trade deadline tomorrow. Why? Because I'm going to Typhoon, Texas to have one more day of fun before I start my rigorous school schedule. But hey, before we get to our third segment, I got to tell you about our friends at Monarch Money. Hey guys, Monarch Money is the place you need to go right now. If you use the code LOCKEDONMLB, you'll get 50% off your first year. That's right. Ever wish managing your money felt easier with Monarch Money? It can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning for a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. It's more than a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building wealth. That's right. It's never fun when you're surprised by charges that fly out of your account. Trust me, I know. I've been there, done that. But if you've got a financial goal and you're serious about it, Monarch Money can help you. If you have a hard time with multiple accounts because you and your partner have a hard time dealing with finances, it helps you track personal accounts, joint accounts. It doesn't matter. So take control of your finances right now with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Go there today. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Astros. Make sure you check out the Locked On Astros postcast as well. We appreciate everybody that is here. Jesse, Luke, Ben, Sircast, Mr. Ghostros, who does live game calls from his home across the sea. Scooby Smokes, J. Rob, Michael. Who am I missing? H. Delio Jr., De Leon, or DeLion. Argenis. We got some OGs here. I Elbow, the GOAT, as always. Dorothy, Michael. Who else? Who am I missing? If I missed you, type your name in there. Amy, what's up? How you doing? Screwed Up MEX 512. Linda's here. That's right. So, hey, thank y'all for tuning in. This is a great show tonight. I love the energy. Y'all are amazing. Okay. Thank you so much. Someone's asking me. So, I'm going to address this. So, I'm doing a broadcast on TikTok live while I do this. And someone asked me if I saw Brice Matthews' TikTok page. That's not his TikTok page. The guy claims to be Brice Matthews, but it ain't him. I'm just telling you right now. Now, I think there's an official Brice Matthews page, but there's a guy that claims to be Brice Matthews. He ain't him. Trust me. That's not the dude. All right. Oh, let me get out of this full screen here. Boom. What am I doing? All right. So again, thank y'all for tuning in. We're your team every day. 180 of y'all are staying up late. Why? Because it's great to be an Astros fan. Look, win or lose, it doesn't matter. I don't care if they had lost 8 of their last 10 games. Okay. I don't care going into tonight. I don't care if, they didn't play well in Seattle. You know what they are? 17 games over 500. 17 games over 500. Mr. Omar Gutierrez says, hey, what about Suarez since Paredes is injured? Let me tell you, if you can get Eugenio Suarez on this team for this season, for this year's run, I say go for it. If you can get Ryan O'Hearn, go for it. If you can get a solid left-handed bat, go for it. The only counter to this, the only counter to that discussion is who are you as an Astros team willing to give up? And who do we have to give? With 16 players on the IL, it's really hard to find. Sarcastic Prodigy says, I blame Brett when the Astros lose. Hey, it's okay. It's a lot like the teams that I coach. I tell the girls that I coach, whenever we win, you get all the credit. Whenever we lose, I'll take the credit. I'll take that on myself. Someone said Singleton. Come on, J-Rob. Let's be for real. Now, look, Yainer Diaz does our intro. Yainer Diaz has become somewhat of, I guess, an acquaintance. We don't hang out, but I've talked to him on multiple occasions now since the interview. And as much as I love Yainer Diaz, if there's someone like that, I mean, you're going to have to trade someone that has major league talent and major league abilities, okay? If you're trading with Arizona, I mean, they kind of need a catcher, you know? They have other positions filled. But I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to put that on Yainer right now. Stephen Kwan, someone mentioned here on TikTok, Stephen Kwan from the Guardians. Again, who are you going to trade? Going back to Framber Valdez, Tomas Rodriguez says, how about 5 years for 165? Woohoo! That's a lot. I mean, we'll have to see. Yeah. Eric talked to Ozzie Albies last night, and I know that's a rumor, but unless someone like Ozzie Albies or Brendan Lau or Cedric Mullins is going to come over here, they've got to heat up. I mean, you can't bring over a struggling bat. Let me go back to the first segment. What were the Astros tonight? Even though they won, they were 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They left 12 on base. So there is still the reality of, despite being 17 games over 500, despite winning another series, the Astros still have issues offensively with producing runs consistently, and you cannot ignore that. Right now, they are in an absolute dogfight. Check this out. Things have turned around because right now the Astros and the Blue Jays are tied with 59 wins and 42 losses. The Blue Jays lost today, okay? Or they lost their last game. I don't know if they played tonight, but they've lost one. The Tigers have lost 2 in a row. The Tigers are starting to fade. The Tigers are starting to feel, it's almost like that guy in that 2-mile race that you watch and he leads like 3/4 of the way through the race and he starts getting winded. I wonder if the Tigers are getting winded. I wonder if the Tigers have staying power. Maybe they do. But remember, they've only been to one and a half playoff series, okay? When are we playing the Bluebirds next? Someone's going to have to look that up for me because I can't look at the schedule right now. Why don't you let me know, Mr. Argentis, since I'm a one-man wrecking crew tonight. So the Houston Astros are 1 game away from the Detroit Tigers. Now, how are they doing this? And what does this relate to our last segment? I kind of drug this out. Brian King, his first save. His first career save comes in the most meaningful way. I mean, a save is a save, right? So it's not like, oh, well, how did you get that save? Well, this save means more than that. Look, a save is a save. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's just like, man, now, like Brian King solidified himself. And if you look at what happened in that inning, you go all the way to the 9th inning, the series of events, okay? Josh Naylor singled, okay? James McCann singled, all right? They put in pinch runners. Then Geraldo Perdomo singled. What had bases loaded? Blaze Alexander strikeout. Then Jose Herrera grounds into a double play. Brice Matthews makes an absolute outstanding grab to Zach Short, to Christian Walker. Ball game over. That is what happens. If you are a coach of young baseball players, you should not be focusing on spin rate or how many pitches the kid has. You need to tell the kid to throw strikes. Your job is to throw strikes. Your job is not even to get outs. It's to throw strikes. It's the defense's job if the offense hits the ball to get outs. And when you get your pitchers to focus on that, that's what happened. Yeah, well, exactly, Ed. Ed goes, I thought that double play was a hit at first. I did too. And Brice Matthews earlier made an amazing attempt at a ball where he was shifted more towards the middle, and I was like, oh no, he made an error. Like, he helped us get the lead. Now I don't like, is he going to be one of the reasons why they tie it? Baseball is not, it's never over until it's over. Okay. The Astros play the Blue Jays September 9th through the 11th. Okay. So there you go. So what a game tonight. The Houston Astros are going to be going for a sweep tomorrow. And let's look at that. Right now we've got, I love this name, Brandon Pfaadt, I think is how you say it. Pfaadt. He's 10-6. He's a righty. He's one of their better pitchers this year, 90 strikeouts. In his last 7 games, he's 3-2, giving up 16 earned runs. He has a 1.07 whip and a 3.51 ERA in his last 7 starts, opposed by Brandon Walter, our guy, who's 1-3, 3.66 ERA his last 7 games, 1-3, 4.10 ERA, 42 strikeouts, a .98 whip. So tomorrow it depends on what bats show up, because we definitely have the bats that can do the damage on the field, but they're not consistent. The keys to a victory tomorrow is get the guys home. When you get a runner in scoring position, get him home. If you get him home, more than likely you're going to win that game. You cannot go 0 for 9 and win too many games. But they did get the 10 hits. They did score just enough runs, 3 runs, and that was the ball game. So from RBI baseball program graduate Brice Matthews all the way to the major leagues, give Metastasita, put the feet on his back, not once, but twice, because the Bryce is right, or twice as Bryce. Hey, Bryce, how about you hit a home run thrice? Y'all have a good one. From myself, from Eric, from everybody here at Locked On Astros. Remember, subscribe, like, comment, share. We are your team every day. Go Stros. Woo! Man, I love it. Nothing like a good win.